guys, I wanted to tell you about that. You know that saying, one man's flower is another man's weed? Well, this is our most prized weed on the farm here. And it's called St. John's wort, Hypericum perfringens. And it is an amazing herb, and I use it all the time. So I wanted to tell you about it. Now, you know, this would be a perfect place to harvest it, right? Not near a major road, right? So we're in a quiet farm type setting. And so that's a really good reminder of when we want to pick plants. And we want to make sure that they're not going to be absorbing any toxins from their local environment. So especially when we're going to use them internally for medicines, but even externally. So St. John's wort looks like a lot of different yellow flowers, sort of, until you get used to it, I guess. This one is tansy, so you can see tansy has a yellow flower also. And so I have people sometimes confuse the two, and I thought, okay, I'll just show them together, and then it won't be so confusing. So St. John's wort, so not tansy, but St. John's wort, has these bright yellow flowers, and this one's in beautiful form right now here at the farm, even though it's August. And St. John's Day is, I think, June 24th, and that's what it's named after. And so when it comes into flower, is different in different places, but in our area, it usually is in flower well before this, but we're just lucky, I guess, this year, right? So I wanted to show you what St. John's wort oil looks like. This is an infused oil that I made about, 3 weeks ago, and we're going to get ready and use it in my salve. St. John's wort is an excellent vulnerary herb. That is to say that it's really good at healing wounds. It's really good to prevent scar tissue from the sun exposure, topically. So it heals wounds, but then it helps with prevention of scar tissue. St. John's wort is one of our best pain remedies for nerve pain, and most people know of it as a antidepressant, right? In America, at least, we have a lot of depression. So the thing about St. John's wort is it's an MAO inhibitor, which means if you're eating a lot of chocolate or coffee, drinking coffee a lot, then it will impede its MAO inhibition action. So basically it will not be as antidepressant as it otherwise would be. So our American diet is not so good when we use this one internally. So if I were just to eat a whole bunch of St. John's wort right now, I might get something called photophobia. Not phobia, that would be where I'm afraid of photosensitization, where I might get little lesions from the sun's rays. And so that same type of doctrine of signatures, we can say we use it for, in that we can use it topically to prevent the UV radiation or be like a prevention for melanoma. This would be a great thing to give to, say, gray horses that get melanomas all over them when they get older. And for dogs and cats, I use it a lot for tooth problems. I'll make a tincture out of it, or we can use it homeopathically if you're worried about any of its potential side effects. It's really pretty safe, but that photosensitization is one of its side effects, and I think maybe its only major side effect. But it looks like little suns, doesn't it? And it's an antidepressant, so it grows along highways and freeways where we're all sitting in traffic depressed. And so we're going to show you another video where St. John's wort is trying to communicate with us. It's always trying to come out and ask us to use it. So you'll find it all around where it's been disturbed. The soil, the earth, the land has been disturbed. And what I love about it most is just how it looks. When I pick it for the oils around St. John's Day, it makes my fingers purple. And that's how I can distinguish it if I forget from tansy and other things. I don't know if you guys can see this purple color right here. And this purple color is I guess what gives rise to the flavonoids that make that oil red when you add olive oil. and sit it in the sun, and that's called an infused oil. So we use St. John's wort in infused oil, in tincture, in homeopathic medicine. It's really the flowering part and the first couple of leaves. If we look at these leaves like sort of close up, I don't know if this is possible, maybe not, there are little holes in them, little holes in those leaves. So I'm not sure how doable that will be to show, but, and I think that's where it gets its second name, perfringes. Anyway, little holes in the leaves. So it's a wonderful medicine. We're going to show you another video about it. But one thing that's also really kind of, I think of it as really important, is St. John's wort won't grow where you plant it. St. John's wort grows where it wants to grow. It reaches out to us. It's kind of a one-way street that way. If I try to plant the St. John's wort, say in the garden, it will never come up. It will only come up where it's disturbed. Right here, it's kind of our driveway. You know, there's a lot of gravel. It's along roadsides. So there's an ornamental St. John's wort, and that's not medicinal. And it doesn't really look like this. Although the flowers look similar, the leaves are totally different. This is the wild St. John's wort. And to me, just, you know, not the inability that we can't really harness that medicine, right? That medicine has to come to us in a way. We can't control it. And to me, that maybe makes it just a really powerful medicine. So people say my salves work great, and I think it's because of the St. John's wort. I also use calendula and comfrey, but the St. John's wort is great. So anyway, we'll do part 2 in a second. Thanks so much. Hey everyone, we're doing St. John's wort in the most awesome place ever. We're on 99 on Aurora, right in the middle of downtown Seattle. And what's so cool about this plant is it's trying to grow to help us. Because one of the good things about St. John's wort is it's great for depression. And here it is growing up through the concrete. Jeff, can you show it coming through the concrete? It's literally coming through the concrete. And so I want to tell you all about St. John's wort, but I'm wondering if we're going to get in an accident or something, or get pulled over by the cops. Anyway, St. John's wort is an herb I use all the time. It's amazing for pain, and it's amazing for depression. And look at it. It's like a little sun. And here it is right along in this main area here. It's amazing. So anyway, it's an herb on a mission. It's trying to heal us, and it's great for tooth pain and toe pain and pain. It's just great for pain. It's also good for, I put it in my salve because it's excellent to heal skin. So it heals skin, it helps the nerve pain underneath the skin. It's used as an oil, like a massage oil. It's used as a tincture. It's used as a tea, and it's used homeopathically. It's one of my favorite herbs or plants to use after an animal has had a tooth pulled or a tooth infection, so a lot of tooth pain. It's great for babies that are teething. And so I just want to show this. I think it's so miraculous that it's growing through the concrete in the middle of Seattle, in this nasty area called Aurora, and which like nobody ever even wants to stop at, much less really. It's growing here because of all these people depressed about being in traffic. It's amazing. So I don't know if you can show it coming through the concrete, Jeff. Cool. You know that it's St. John's wort when your fingers turn purple. Your fingers, when you pick it, it will turn purple from all the flavonoids. Purple. And your oils, when you infuse it, turn red. So St. John's wort oil is bright red, and it's an amazing healer. And I thank it for coming through the concrete like this in the middle of Seattle. Thank you.